G'day team, Josh here. Welcome to another episode of the Ignite podcast. Today I want to talk to you about how project closeouts, meaning the end of the project, increase profit. So we've just fresh up a training with our Boardroom clients. We've actually mapped out the entire project closeout process. And I want to walk you through today the highlights from that training and what to think about, and also just really show you how a simple thing like a project closeout in your business can maximize your profits and get the team performing better. But first, a little bit about me. I'm right into weights training at the moment, so I've got a couple of personal goals that I'm working towards at the moment, and it's going really well. I've got a personal trainer that's helping me dive into the world of weightlifting and just getting stronger, fitter, all those sorts of things. And also on a personal front, heading to Noosa this weekend just to hang out with some friends who I haven't seen in a while, and also catch up with some amazing Boardroom clients as well, which is, looking forward to that. On a business front, look, we're continuing to grow and expand and really support our Boardroom clients with more and more offerings. So this week, we're starting to now work with some of our Boardroom clients much more deeply in their business. So we've got a new offering for our Boardroom clients where we actually coach and work with the senior leadership team within their business to help them, progress their professional development plan, help them get some coaching, and just, our idea with that next level of support is really the business owners can then focus on growing the business, and then we will work with the team leaders and senior leaders within the business to get them performing at optimal levels too. So really, really exciting phase for us in terms of just, bringing our coaches together and making sure that we can support our clients as much as possible in that space. I'm going to walk you through today a training session that we've just run for our clients on project closeouts, but also we've got a session next week for our clients on shareholding and shareholders deed, which I cannot wait to kind of walk everyone through the structure of the shareholders deed, how to sort of map it through and talk about shareholding for our Boardroom clients. Okay, so that's a nice little update on us personally and professionally, what's happening at Ignite HQ. So let's get into the episode. I want to set the scene. I ran the training for our Boardroom clients today because I'm all about simple things that we can do, that our clients can do in their businesses, that are going to optimize profit, that are going to optimize the ROI on their time investment, and just make their businesses better. So we've got a now 3-part training series for our Boardroom clients on all things project delivery. So we've run the project kickoff plan in terms of how to kick projects off really, really well, so people know exactly what they're doing, the scope of the project, the clients had input, kicking the project off really well. So that's kind of phase 1 of project delivery. Phase 2 is project delivery, so actually delivering the project really well. So we've got a second phase training there for our Boardroom clients on how to deliver amazing projects. And so today's training that we did was kind of closing that loop in terms of then, once the project's done, doing a project closeout. And so project closeout is probably one of the most important things you can do from a lessons learned point of view, but the importance in the emphasis on it is just not there, because people are time poor. They're so busy that it's next, what's the next thing? And so catching up with the project team for 10 or 15 minutes to do a project closeout is always we think it's a good idea, but it never happens in practice. And so today I want to talk to you about how project closeouts can actually increase profit by installing this simple strategy into your business. Performance goes through the roof, communication within the team goes through the roof, and just making sure that the little things that you're capturing and the lessons learned on projects get communicated through to the team. So when I look at businesses that aren't performing really well, or when I look at businesses whose profit levels aren't where they need to be, it is typically always a performance issue. So it's typically always, there's in the project delivery process, it's just a leaky bucket, meaning that there's hours being leaked here and there due to a whole bunch of reasons. But this is why the importance of a project closeout exists, or why it's so important, is it captures all those things and means on the next project and then the next project and the next project after that, the business is learning and getting better. So the big mistakes I see business owners making is, number one, there is no project closeout process in place. So the business isn't evolving and learning from each project. Number two, you're not capturing those wins and lessons learned on projects. So we're not sharing the knowledge within the team. So, you've got a project team working on a project, they're intimately involved in that project, and they're living and breathing decisions that were made before them in terms of systems and processes in the business, scope of works, fee proposal, agreements with clients. They're living that experience. And so it's really important that we're capturing that. But there's a big mistake where businesses aren't capturing or sharing that knowledge that comes from actually doing the projects in the business. And the third big mistake is that, look, businesses just aren't getting better because we're not sharing that knowledge, we're not catching up, we're not doing the lessons learned thing. And it just means that all those little things, that leaky bucket that I talked about, all those little things that are leading to poor performance, they're leading to wasted time, they're leading to profit margins going down, it just means they're going to continue to happen because the business isn't learning from those mistakes and using them to get better, to make business improvements, to actually have that level of comms within the team, the business, to go, hey, this didn't work so well on this particular project. How about for the next one, we do X, Y, and Z so that we don't have that same problem. So if you don't have that project closeout process, it means the business isn't evolving and getting better because we're not learning from past mistakes. So if we can kind of get this piece right, like actually install project closeouts into our business, the business is evolving, you're learning, you're getting better from every project that's being done. Like the knowledge and lessons learned on projects is being captured and shared. So you've got like SOPs have been updated, business improvements have been suggested, you've got people with actions coming out of those meetings. So that there is a level of focus on we want to be continually improving and getting better from the projects. And the third thing, if we get this piece right in terms of installing project closeouts, is performance is improving in the business, efficiencies are increasing, and profit margins are just getting better and better. So if we can think about that leaky bucket analogy, if we can over the course of 4, 5, 6, 7 projects plug holes in that bucket because we're learning and getting better, it just means that the profit margins keep going up because we're refining our systems and processes on projects. So that's why this is important, team. And with our boardroom clients today, we just went through a very, very simple, structured approach to project closeouts. And so, like I said, the reason they don't happen is because the technical team are so busy that they're like, I don't want to do another thing. And they don't see the importance of that. And so that's a cultural shift that you as a business owner needs to make in terms of instilling that within your team, that this is actually a very important part of the process and we do need to do it, and these are the reasons why. So it's got to be simple and easy to follow. And that's what I walked our boardroom clients through today, is like, if we can have a very simple, easy process to follow, 20 minutes or 30 minutes max for a project closeout meeting. And of course, you've got to think about your business, the different sizes of projects. And like, for example, someone on Boardroom today mentioned for anything over 50K in project value, they have a proper formal project closeout meeting. Anything less than 50K, there's an email template that the business gets the team to follow, where the PM or the team leader goes around and gets everyone's input from that project, wins, lessons learned, all those sorts of things, and then circulates that to the business. So you've just got to think about your process and what you want to implement, but it's really important to have a project closeout process implemented within your business. So I want to talk you through now like a little bit about the process to follow, because if you don't have a process in your business, then it's not going to get followed. And so like there's a really simple process that we implemented today, whereby, as an example, project hits 90% complete or the final invoice gets issued, that just triggers the project closeout meeting to be organized. So someone from an admin point of view or someone from your admin team scans the projects once a week. That's part of their PD. They go in and scan the project status and they go, cool, these 4 projects are getting close to completion. They go and talk to the PM or the team leader or you as a business owner and go, hey, projects are getting close. Do you want me to organize a project closeout? Yes, please. And they go and organize that. So it's a very, very simple process. Metric is set in the business. That triggers something to happen. Someone from an admin point of view goes and organizes the project closeout. The whole team get together. There is absolutely a must of pre-work has to happen. So every team member comes to that particular project closeout meeting. They've already been sent a pro forma template that just says, I want you to think about wins on this project, lessons learned, and what would you do differently next time. Everyone comes to that project closeout meeting already with that information pre-populated. The team leader or the project manager has a fourth thing to come to the project closeout meeting with, which is all the financials. So here's the phases of the project. This is our agreed fee. This is our cost, a business cost. Were we over? Were we under? And then they present that to the team and you discuss why. So if we were under, great. What led to us being under? So we made more money for the business. If we were over, what happened? What would we do differently next time? And so the whole idea of the project closeout meeting is 30 minutes max. Everyone gets in a room. PM or team leader or business owner runs the meeting. Everyone has input. Maybe you've got admin support there taking notes. Wins. Everyone goes around. What were the wins in this project? And it's important to celebrate wins. What were the lessons? What would we do differently next time? Everyone goes around the room that has input. Notes get taken. Financial review. So fee, cost to business, over, under, why, and what would we do differently? So that gets discussed. And then there's the action piece. Like, what are the 3 to 5 actions coming out of this particular meeting? What would we do differently next time? So we might update. Is there an SOP that needs to get updated? Is there a update that needs to happen to the fee proposal template that makes sure that that scope gets included or allowed for next time? Or is there a comms piece that needs to happen to the whole business to go, hey, did you know that this is now new legislation that we have to consider in our fee proposals or when we're doing projects? Actions get set from this meeting, assigned to a person, and they have to do those actions. Really, really simple. Wins, lessons, financial review, and actions. So you close the meeting. Then what happens next is really, really important. There has to be a comms piece to the entire business. So think shared Teams channel, email, Slack, WhatsApp, whatever your internal comms channel is. Either admin, the PM, the team leader does a blast out to the office to go, hey, everyone, we've just caught up and done a review of or a closeout of the Alma Road project. Here's our summary. It's just literally a copy and paste from the summary from the meeting. But that just means that then that knowledge is out there into the business. People are reading that going, oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know that was a new legislative requirement. Oh, I can see their budget for design went over. I'm going to go talk to the PM because I'm about to do a fee proposal on another project of similar size. I need to know why they went over and should I allow for more. So that's the getting better piece. That's the learning. If you're sharing this knowledge with your business, it means that everyone's learning and growing and evolving from that one experience on that particular project. You times that by how many projects happen in your office and think about the evolution that can happen if you install this one thing, which is a project closeout. I think that's all I want to cover. So I think that's kind of the summary of the training session we ran with our boardroom clients today. We gave them a checklist and a whole bunch of templates and SOPs to install into their business. But just take it seriously. It's so important. It literally takes half an hour to have a project closeout meeting. But the stuff that you learn from those meetings is absolutely vital to your business getting better and means your profit margins go through the roof. So very, very much consider installing this into your business. Okay, that's it for me today, team. Hope you have enjoyed today's episode. Look, as always, we have a ton of free resources for you if you want to keep doing this journey on your own. But if you want to, maybe join an amazing community of business owners, would love to have a chat to you about joining Boardroom. So purely for business owners within the engineering industry. If that's you want to have a chat about how it can help you build your business faster, please reach out. Let's have a chat about you and Boardroom and how it might be a fit. Have an amazing day.